Tech for Senior Live. Welcome, everyone. It is November the 18th, and we have a great show for you today, and we have Bill James with us. Wow, we always have so much fun when Bill's on the show. He is a card, and we are going to have lots of interesting things to talk about today. I want to welcome everybody who is listening either on our YouTube stream or our Facebook stream. So you could be on either side of the channel there. So welcome to you. If you want to put in the comments where you're from, what your name is, your first name, and let us know that you're out there. It's always nice that we know that we're talking to someone. And don't forget, you can ask questions. We're all ears. We may not have the answers, but we're certainly all ears, right? So, and of course, we will be broadcasting for the next hour. We're going to sit and have coffee, chat about a bunch of things. And if we get around to it, we might get over to our Facebook articles to talk as well. But usually when Bill's here, we spend a lot of time talking because we're just all really good friends. So anyway, we'll get together and we're going to have some fun today. Huey, how the heck? Let me introduce everybody. I think you know everyone anyway, but Huey Poplick, how are you today? Tell me, Windows 11, what do you think?
I pulled the trigger late Monday night. It took an hour and 45 minutes from beginning to the point where I was up and running it.
Right.
No glitches, no problems. Everything seems to be working fine. I had one program that I had one small issue. It was a microphone program. And then when I went and looked at the program, I was about 3 versions behind. I updated it, and I'm using it now, so everything's working fine. Looks like we're doing good.
Tell me honestly, did you have Bob and Bill on standby when you were doing this? Did you have them on auto speed dial, and they were sort of?
No. I just had my fingers and toes all crossed, and I did a backup within an hour. It finished an hour before I tried to do the update. So I was ready if worst came to worst, because your computer knows when you haven't done a backup.
Right. And yeah, it does. Yeah.
And that's when it really knows to really screw up. So.
Right. Well, we all want to come over to Bob's house because he has the cleanest house in the United States right now, because he has 2 robotic vacuums running around cleaning his house. Bob, what's going on with that?
I only have one doing the cleaning. The other one's already been disconnected, waiting to be a present for one of the kids.
Oh, I see. Oh. No, I got 3, right? Not to be outdone by everybody. And I have I have a fleet of them, and I send them all out to different rooms. So it's like, I got them all, like it's, I have put my captain's hat on and send the fleet out, right? And so I have them all running around doing things. I'm going to do that later on today. So
Now,
anyway,
one of the kids already is using an iRumba, an old one, the bump and grind
oh
one
yeah,
that,
yeah,
okay, that's at one of the kids' houses.
right.
So the next one will get an upgrade because they're going to get the Wise one.
Hmm.
And right now, the one we have, that one is able to do its own cleaning. I only have to physically clean it once a month.
Right.
And boy, does it suck the crap out of the device. You literally, when it hooks up to clean out the garbage, it makes a great big noise, and you can see all the garbage being sucked out of the back up into its container.
Yeah, it's fun.
So did you get
Yep.
did you get an iRumba?
No,
No, you got the Sharp, the IQ Sharp.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
the one that we talked about on Monday, or that Ron talked about on Monday. Only
It's,
I got mine.
That's the one I bought last year. Was right around Christmas time, I think. Was the Shark.
Yeah, well, this is the one supposed to have newer technology in it. I have yet to see it because it works the exact opposite of what the Wise did. The Wise did an outside circumference and then filled in the gaps in the middle. This one did the middle and ended up doing the outside circumference. So,
Huh.
So interesting. So for everyone that's listening, this is the same one. Um, Sharp actually now has about 15% of the robotic market now because they're really being aggressive in trying to get into this because it used to be all iRobot, right? And this IQ is really a good deal. This is the same one they have at Costco, and you often will see it on sale. So it's not on sale right now. Black Friday, I was just over at in Canada. I was over at Costco yesterday, and it
it's
was
on sale at Walmart.
yes, and it's on sale on Amazon for some time. So it is around, and it is I think it's the best deal. I think for that price, that is by far hands down the best deal in town. If you can pick that one up, it's good. So Bill James, now we're going to talk to you in a minute because I know you have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, right? But I have a couple, part of the deal now is when we start, I got some videos I want to show you that I've been working on this week, and I'm going to want to show you guys a couple of videos and see what you think. So anyway, we'll get back to you, Bill, and welcome to the show. And
well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So
Let's see who else is here.
let's see who's here. Can you go over those, Huey?
Yep. Jenny
gee.
Garrick
Yeah.
from
Know her.
Altamont Springs, which is the Orlando group. Sally Ann from Kirkland, Washington, and Steve Powell, and Bob Baxter. It looks like Washington's well attended today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's Steve Parker.
Yeah, he says, I remember what I'd forgotten. Can Windows 11 boot into safe mode with F8 like Windows 7 did? And I don't believe it does, but I haven't looked to see how to get into safe mode with Windows 11. Bob, I think you had mentioned it in one of your talks or in conversations that you've got a button to go right to it.
I have a shortcut on my desktop that allows me to go into safe mode.
It's got to reboot and then go into it, correct?
Yes. Now, F8 does work if you're lucky. But if you have a problem with a computer, if it fails 3 times, the 4th time it automatically goes into its recovery mode. And from there, you can pick safe mode.
Yeah. Now, what I did, one of the first things I did after I got Windows 11 running properly is I buy like 5 at a time USB sticks. And I took a brand new stick and put it in, and I created an emergency boot disk.
Yep.
And I recommend that everybody does that with whether using Windows 10 or Windows 11, they do it for their version. I do have one for Windows 10 for the Home Edition and another one for the Pro Edition. I only have it for the Pro for Windows 11 because it's the only thing I've got with it. But if your computer can't boot, you boot with the stick, and then it'll say, do you want to install it? You want to try to run and repair it? What it did, it saved about 25 gigabytes of the operating system on that stick. And so you need at least a 32 gig, but it's probably better with a minimum of a 64 gig stick to do that with. And Windows has a very a very quick and easy way to create that bootable disk stick for you. So I
For
do recommend you do that.
for Steve, it's really not fair, or you should not be comparing Windows 11 to anything in Windows 7. If you want to compare it, it would be the closest relative is Windows 10. Windows 7 is a whole different story than Windows 10 or 11.
Yes.
And Dick Vogel from Sanford, which is the Orlando area as well. George Bowden from Victoria Computer Club. And Ivana's here from Texas. Chill factor of 30 degrees, around 48 degrees. Wow.
And she was probably saying, I saw British Columbia had a lot of flooding. I bet you that's what she was going to say. She heard her. And it did. I was saying to, in the lower mainland, it normally floods in the winter anyway, and they have large pumps, huge buildings that are pumps, and it pumps a lot of water in the low-lying areas out. Did you guys know, and they said this on the news this morning, there's a pump and they pump 500,000 gallons a minute. Now that's a lot of water.
Wow.
500,000 gallons a minute. And that's how much water these guys, these massive pumps pump. Anyway, we're all safe. Well, a lot of people aren't. British Columbia is in a state of emergency now, and there's a lot of logistics in getting people moved around. We're fine in our area. We're perfectly okay. Except I was telling you guys, I went to Costco yesterday. I had to pick up one little thing I needed. I got inside Costco, and there were the checkout line went twice around the store inside, twice around just to get into the line. I couldn't find the end of the line. Every time I went and I tried to they said, oh no, the line starts around the corner. And I go there and no, the line starts back by pharmacy. And it was nuts. People were going crazy because of they're just all worried about running out of toilet paper, right? So anyway,
That's always the issue.
Yeah, so it's the toilet paper, crisis that we're going through. But anyway, we're all fine here.
Maybe for Christmas, I'll give all of my kids one of those great big toilet paper things.
Right. Well, there you go.
And Clark says hello from Trenton.
Excellent. All right, listen, you guys, I have some videos I want to show you, and I want your opinion on these because these are interesting gadgets. I thought Bill's a gadget guy, so these are the latest in gadgets. I don't know if you've seen these, but we're gonna have a look at a few of them, and I want to have a look at this now. Just a minute. I think, yeah, this is okay. So there's the first one. I'm going to sort of play it. These don't have sound with it, so I'm just going to play this and show you. And I want you to watch, and I want your opinion. Then I'll tell you what my wife says about these. All right, I'll give you my wife. All right, let's watch this. Now this is a toaster, and you put a little bit of water in the top, and then this is a unique way of cooking. It moisturizes the toast. And then the outside, then there's a special broiler heater unit that cooks the toast on the outside, but it's moist on the inside because, of course, it was humidified first. Thin layer of moisture forms. Moisture heats much faster than air, quickly toasting the bread's surface. And it lightly toast the surface, moisture aroma locked in, crisping the surface with steam seals in moisture and aroma before final toasting. Crisp on the outside, soft, fluffy on the inside, a high contrast toasted finish. And this is, it's made by a company called Balmuda and from Japan. Now, so before you, let's see how all right. So the story of this goes like this. All right. In the stories today that we look at on Facebook, this company called Balmuda is from Japan, and they've just they're launching a cell phone, right? And the article was about cell phones, and it said this company that makes this successful toaster in Japan is now bringing their own cell phone line on. So I was curious as to what made this toaster so good. So I made the article up about the toaster. I'm not really interested in the cell phone. That's never going to come to the US. It might, but it's not really. But the interesting thing is the toaster. Now, here's the deal. It's basically only sold in Japan, but it is highly successful. It's been around since 2015. My kids used to live in Japan. They didn't know particularly about it because they left. It became successful in 2015. And now it's so successful that there are stores. Like if you go to a town, there's probably a store that carries what's it called? Bermuda. It's called the Bermuda toasters, right? And you see these great big stores all over the place, and they sell these toasters, and they're selling like hotcakes, and they're $225. Now the one they may also make a kettle, but these sell for around $225 US if you can. They're not easy to find because they're not primarily sold in the US market. So so my wife said, there is no way you know what that you are ever spending $225 on a toaster, right? So I said, well, Bill James doesn't have one. And she said, I'm not going to say what she said, but anyway. But listen, you guys, now here's the deal. Here's the deal on this. You may, how many more years have we got? We got a few more years left. We might go to our grave and never have the best toast in the whole world. Maybe this is the best way to make toast. Now, Bob's got a new vacuum cleaner, right? And so what's the enjoyment? He sees the vacuum go around once a week. But what if you every morning got up and you had the best toast in the whole world? Would this not be worth $225? What do you guys think?
I would agree. I don't have the best toast in the world because mine never comes out quite the way I like it. And that's really enticing to have that crispy outside and that fluffy inside. That's right. The way I really like my toast.
Yeah.
So, you only
my $25 toaster has a button on it. It says bagel, and it only toasts on one side, and I'm happy with that. So I can put a bagel in, and it just the top part of the bagel on each side toasts.
I think mine has a bagel.
My toaster is to a point where you need to turn the toast around to toast the other side because one side's not working quite well. So I suggested,
you're due for
I suggested a new toaster, and Alice said, "No, it's still working fine. Just turn it around."
I have to admit, I do have a rather expensive toaster because I am kind of picky about my toast, but I think I would be.
The article's on our Facebook page, and the links are all there. So if you're interested, you can go and sort this out. The combination was on. I couldn't find the actual on Amazon. The $448 was the kettle and the toaster because they're not really sold in the United States. It's more of a Japan thing. But anyway, I just thought you might be. I thought this is such a cool thing, and I guess my concern is, am I going to die before tasting the best toast in the world? And I don't know what everybody's got to think about that. All right, hold on. You got to go to Gadget.
Do you see what's on the screen here first?
Dick says it looks like it only makes one piece at a time.
No, it's not. And you can put multiple pieces in. I think that's not a problem. All right, let's go to the second gadget. Now, this is a must. Now, Bob, you unfortunately just spent a lot of money on a vacuum cleaner. But
I spent a lot of money on a phone. The vacuum cleaner was reasonable.
All right. Well, this is even better. This is $35, and it does a better job than your robotic vacuum. Watch this.
You took my.
Were you going to show that?
I was going to show. Absolutely.
Okay.
This is an Indiegogo, and I bid. I ordered one. I'm number 132.
Oh my 130.
Look at this. Watch this. This is
Roomby.
Roomby.
They say it'll ship in January.
That's right.
And
it's made of silicone, and it's called Roomby.
I didn't see that on Quick Start.
There you go. And it's going to be, what do you think? Is it 32 or 35, Huey?
I can't remember, but it was another 20 some odd dollars or $30 for the dustpan, and I bid for that too.
That was
But
cool.
then,
I will have to
there's
go check
it's
that out.
$28 shipping.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
So, Bob, what do you think? $35? You know, is that going to be better than your vacuum?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
But it's only for
faster. It'll
it's
be
only for solid,
faster.
yeah, but it's only for solid floors, not
Yeah.
Oh
carpet.
no, they are actually showing it on a rug where it's taking off the hairs and so on out of the rug. It's
Oh.
it,
Hmm.
Okay, I've got the third device for you now. This is a must. This is for sure. I don't know what the price of this is, but it's priceless. But this is a must, and I want you to watch this. Watch. This is a short video, so just be careful. We got to watch it now.
or we'll miss it. Huh?
Yeah, or you
We
miss it.
missed it.
There you go.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but how do I get the screen off first?
Well, so the first thing is I'll play it one more time for you. So the question is, how do you soap the window? Because and it looks as though she's leaning out of a window that falls, but if you see, there's a ledge below her, so she probably gets down, soaps the window, then gets back into the window and does this with the robotic window washer. But I don't. This is sort of cool, though. I mean, that's a pretty easy way
It
to.
really is.
There you go.
Huh.
Priceless. So there you go. You guys, I thought you'd.
How much? Because I'd be able to do that from the ground because we've got one floor. So
Yeah.
Where
I
it
don't
says
know
we
where
need to
that.
visit the dollar store.
Yeah. So there you go, Bill. There's some. I had to put those up there today because I know you're a toast guy, and I thought that this might want the toaster.
Yeah, I think by far the toaster is
Wins
really
the-
intrigued me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I ordered the boom bee. The boom bee.
I'm going to go look for the Broomby just for grins.
All right. So Bill, tell us what you've got. You bought some stuff this week. Tell us.
Oh yeah. Well, one of the things I got, which I'm quite proud of, is my. Dewey talked about the Roku remote that had the lithium batteries built in. So I bought one, and of course it was immediately on back order, but it popped up in the mail. Now the interesting thing about this remote, first of all, it was very easily. I mean, there was no problem to set it up. And my Roku is a 4; it's an older one. But they haven't changed the remote because I have a newer Roku TV that has almost the identical remote, except it's battery powered. But the thing that I really liked about this one is that it kind of transformed my TV. My TV is Lee Echo, which is one that I got from Walmart probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And I thought it was the best TV I had seen for the price. And the thing about it was an Android TV, and it had all kinds of potentials, I thought. And then the company went belly up. This was a company that was going to buy Vizio and a bunch of others. The guy ran out of the bankrupt the country, and then bankrupt the company, and then went to China. So the TV now cannot be updated because there's no support or anything like that. So I've been having some issues with it. But just by installing this remote, it now becomes the primary operating system for the TV, which is, in my opinion, is good. So I've really liked it. It's very it's voice operated, so you can just tell it what you want. And other than that, it was just a really nice device. And I forgot what the price. It was less than $30. I think it was more like 20 or so.
So what's with the lithium, the rechargeable batteries? Because I mean, in those remotes that I have, they last forever. I mean, I may change the batteries every couple of years. The normal ever ready batteries. What's the big deal?
Well,
with
the thing about mine is that's not the case. My old Roku remote, I was putting batteries in it probably every 6 months.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So, but I don't know how long this will last on a charge. I've charged it up, but it's seems to be holding. But
Okay. Cool.
I really like.
Did you get that on Amazon?
No, I bought it directly from Roku.
Oh, yeah, from Roku. Okay.
Yeah, I bought it directly from Roku. So,
Okay.
but it's a really nice device. I think it's well worth the investment. But the other thing that happened to me, I went out last night and mingled with the younger set of folk,
Ooh.
and
Ooh.
older people really like to play bingo,
Right.
and it seems like the younger people play something called Singo. Singo.
Okay.
And what it is a musical version of bingo. Like there was 3 rounds last night, and the music was 80s rock, decade hits 2010, and 50 essentials. Now, it looks like a regular bingo card, except that they play tunes, and you then have to enter the tune on the card. Now, like everyone that is under 20 years old or under 40, whatever age group you want to say, the phone is the most important element of one's life. So last night, I was pretty much immersed in using my phone. First of all, there was a QR code on the table where I had to retrieve the menu. And this is kind of a new establishment. It's a bar in the middle, and then they have these outlying restaurants, and there's probably about 5 or 6. So once I got the menu, I could go in and select which food, what type of food I wanted, and I would select that from the menu. And then, of course, I paid with it with a credit card using my phone. And they then text me that my food was ready, so I went over and picked it up. So that was the first thing. Now, to play the game, I had to download an app called Shazam. And it's an app that allows you it identifies music as it's being played.
Yep.
Yeah. So when they play the music, I pressed the button, and of course it picked up what the song was. And then I could annotate my bingo card, or my single card in this case. So I learned a lot about using my phone last night for something that I normally don't do. And it was kind of fun.
How much of the music I could see that this wouldn't be that, bingo is, it rattles on pretty quick, right? People who go to bingos all the time are they're calling out those numbers pretty darn fast. Would they only play like a very short amount of
They played a very short amount, enough for the phone to pick it up. But things like, and maybe I don't know all these songs, but this was actually, they call this hippie essentials. One of the songs was Looking Out My Back Door, Give Me Love, I Can See Clearly Now, Signs, Operator, Last Train to Clarksville, Spirit in the Sky. All those were played, and they just played little snippets.
Okay.
So
did you have fun? Did you have fun?
Oh, I had a tremendous amount of fun. We played 3 rounds. It was fantastic. But what I'm thinking about is that for my computer club, we're going to do bingo, but I'm thinking about creating Christmas music at for the last round of bingo, and I have to put a playlist together. So I'll have to learn how to do that. I'm not good at those sort of things, but put the playlist together, and then we'll play the music and see how many. They'll have to get their phones out, but I don't think they'll do that part.
All right. Well, I'm glad you had fun. Did you win?
No, I that was the most disappointing part. I was hoping, but I didn't have the lucky card last night. But they were giving some nice little prizes. They had gift cards for their establishment. Interesting. The name of this restaurant was called the Parlor, and the middle part was actually the bar, and then they had all these little outlying food uh, stores on the perimeter.
Right.
So it was a lot of fun. I will be going back. They do that every Wednesday. So if you're in a town, look up Slingo and see if there is something like that is going on. Singo, Singo.
Okay. So to follow up on your story, a little bit of a twist. I gave a talk, as you know, two-factor authentication is being released now as we speak to 180 million Google users, and you're getting it whether you like it or not. And so one of the talks I gave yesterday was, you need your own cell phone. So there are many reasons why each individual should have a cell phone, right? And of course, that is one of them that you mentioned today.
Yeah. And that's not the only restaurant. I've gone to another restaurant where they had the menu on the table as a QR code,
Mm-hmm.
and bring that up. But you can go do it the old-fashioned way too. I think in a lot of places, just go up to the counter and order. But it's a lot more fun to do it that way, I think. But
Are you guys ready? Sorry?
I was going to say one thing. Speaking of, I went over and looked at reviewed my privacy settings. And, one of the things that they used to ask is, what's your favorite food, or what country do you like to visit?
Right.
Well, Google no longer supports that.
Oh.
They've taken that off, because I was reviewing mine, and mine said favorite food. When I clicked on it to check what it was, it says this type of authentication is no longer supported. So, by the way, it's a good idea if you have a Google appliance, whether it's a phone or tablet or TV, is go in and review your privacy and security settings in that. Google really does a really great job in checking how your security settings are done.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do it on one device, it covers everything. So you only have to do it on the one, because it'll sync with all the rest of them.
I can tell you why they no longer have those kinds of questions as a way of backing up. It's because on Facebook, it's become a norm. You see these questions all the time. What's your favorite food? What's your this? What's your that? And hey, those things are just come-ons for people to learn all the different things that make up your, how would you call it? Your profile.
Right.
Okay. By itself, each one of those is nothing. But when you combine all of them together, you learn more about that person than the person themselves know. And eventually you wind up having the whole profile for that person just by doing those stupid little quizzes on Facebook. And it's something that everybody should be aware of. They by themselves sound very innocent, but when you do enough of them, you're giving away all the information that the hacker may be looking for. And that leads to people winding up losing their identity. Identity theft happens to be something you really need to be careful of.
Absolutely.
Very true.
All
And
right,
I
you guys.
know it's really tempting to do those, because I find them interesting, and I participated. I will have to admit,
Every time I see one of those, I put in it, okay, how many of these do you do? And if somebody is on the other side collecting all the information, do they now have enough for you to lose your identity and they become you?
Yeah.
So be careful.
Huey, do we want to do any comments before we get into the news articles?
I think there's only one or two
Bill,
that we didn't cover.
Bill's there.
Bill says hi from Oregon. And Geeks on Tour are with us,
Yeah,
and they
Jim,
say hi
that's
from South
great.
Florida.
There you go. There you go. All right,
I'll be seeing Geeks on Tour tomorrow.
there you go. Are you a guest? Are you a guest speaker? Or?
No, they are a guest speaker to someplace I'll be attending in Florida.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's do some. Are you guys ready to do some work now? We've had a little chat. We can. We're going to do some work. Let me share the screen. We'll share this. Come up, and you should be able. Let me see if we can get this a little bit bigger. Is that okay for you guys?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to Facebook.
All right. So while we're going to go through the news articles, there's a lot of interesting news that's happened this past week. So if you are listening and you want to go over to our Facebook page, you can actually see the articles right on the page. We're just going to look at our page and go through. Now, this last week, Bob, Huey, I, and Bill and Ray all post news articles that we're interested in that we might be talking about on Thursday. So you'll see. So we all have our favorites articles, and so let's go, Bob. Bob, I guess you must have. We're always trying to be the first on, which means we're the last posted. So Bob must have been thinking there. He must have just when we started the show posted the last article. So there you go. What do you say?
Well, part of my security news roundup had to do with the theft of information from those that use Robinhood. And of course, if you wait a couple of days, that's when they really start to reveal, well, what you thought was bad is actually a lot worse. And they not only stole lots of email addresses, but they also got a hold of a lot of phone numbers. And phone numbers are not something you really want to share with everybody unless they're your friends.
Yeah, sure. Bob, why is it Robinhood is important?
It's something lots of people use.
Do they know it?
Yeah, they've been notified.
No, but do they know they use Robinhood? Isn't Robinhood one of those things that just in the background and it's...
No, you know you're using Robinhood if you're using it.
Okay. All right.
And well, Bob, first of all, what's the purpose of it? I mean, is it...
What is Robinhood, Bob?
What is Robinhood?
We don't know what Robinhood is. Do you know what Robinhood is?
Robinhood has to do with investments.
Oh, okay. It's investment.
Oh, okay.
That's you got to have money for that. That's why none of us know anything about it. Yeah.
I only know about it because I had to read the article.
All right. Bob, Spotify launches lyrics feature. Maybe Bill can use this for his bingos.
Well, yeah, when you play the song, it now can show you the lyrics.
Oh.
But as it's actually playing so that you can more or less use it to sing along.
Oh, like a karaoke. Yeah.
Like karaoke, right.
So is that with the regular Spotify account? That's
with the free one now, too.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Cool.
I use Spotify. I've noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You'll be singing along in your car as you're driving along. This is cool. This is this is the one I wanted to talk about. This is the new Amazon Echo 15. I may get this. I actually may get this. Well, I may get that toaster. I haven't. Don't you tell my wife that. But I may get the toaster. I haven't decided yet, but I got to try that toaster. But I'm not going to mention that anymore. Anyway, this is the Amazon Echo 15, and it's cool because you can mount it on the wall, and it can look like a picture, like a picture frame. And this is just coming out, and they said that you can pre-order it for December the 8th. And have you guys seen this? This is just brand new.
I have the 10-inch, so
right.
Is this one that's got a camera in it too, so it can watch you?
Little camera up here as well. Yeah. So it's I can see putting that on the wall as a digital picture frame, and then of course you can you can talk to it, and it'll give you the all the different things that it does. I thought it's really cool. Anyway, it's just coming out, and you can pre-order it for Christmas. So I thought that was interesting. And we'll have to keep an eye on that. Motorola has become now. I wanted just to talk about this for a minute. We're all talking about the Pixel 6 for $1,000 or more, and we're all talking about the Samsung S1. Well, Motorola just makes one of the best phones for $200, and it now is the number. Who knew that Motorola in the United States would be number 3? It's the third most popular phone sold in the United States. So I guess the reason I brought this up is if you are thinking about a new phone and you don't want to spend like the kitchen sink and everything, and it's just too expensive for you, there are great phones for $200, and Motorola makes a number of those. And so I used to own the Motorola G, and it was a great little phone. It was a great phone. So they have so in Costco sells them. They're all sold all over the place. So if you are interested in getting a really good phone, and there's nothing wrong with this phone, you don't have to pay the $1,000 for a cell phone. All right. So that's the only reason I wanted to bring that up. You guys, have you ever owned a Moto G?
I'm not a Moto G, but I've owned a Motorola phone in the past, and they were always originally, they were kind of the in the forefront before the Apple and some of the Android phones. What was the one that was really mostly? They had a folding phone, which was really very popular.
Yeah, I had a Motorola Flip, and I can't remember. It did have a special name to it, and I don't recall what it was called.
Motorola Z.
Yeah, it was something Z. Yes, there was a Z in it.
Yep.
Pretty cool. Now, the reason I put this in was this was a new announcement by Apple today or yesterday.
It's because you didn't read the announcement that was already printed. That's why you put this in.
Yeah.
You already put it in there. So anyway, this now I'm not sure that. So the deal now is that you can repair your own iPhone. You can actually order the parts and repair it. Now, do I think I want to do that? That's not really the reason that I put this article up. The reason I put this article up is we had somebody on the show last Monday. I think it was last Monday. And they said to us, and we were talking about batteries and cell phones. And they said, oh, can you repair a battery in a cell phone? They didn't even know you could put a new battery in a cell phone. And I thought I would bring this up just to remind people that not only can you put a new battery in, but there are companies that will repair these devices for you, and they do a really good job. I have to tell you that when I had the battery on my Pixel 3, I wanted it replaced. I had no idea where to go. So I did a little Google search, and bingo, there's a local company, young group of people. They have 2 or 3 offices now in different communities. They're really high tech. They're cool. They're really neat. They were all in their 20s, new business they started, and they said, "Yep, come on down. We'll do it right away." And it was so cool, all this stuff they did and how quickly they did it. And they're just a young group of people that are just getting the businesses going in our community. So I'm sure there's lots of people that will do this. So I just want to let people know that you can fix things and get it done locally. And I think that's cool. Have you guys had batteries replaced on your phones?
No, I have. Yeah, I had mine expanded to the point where it separated and the phone didn't work. It was I needed to charge it, and then it wouldn't hold the charge, and it was because the battery needed to be replaced. And then the replacement battery did the same thing not too long after that. And because it was a local place, they went ahead and changed it and gave it to me at their cost for the replacement of the original replacement. Yeah. What they have to do is a lot of cases, they have to lift the lid to it, like you see in the picture there. But those are glued down. So they have to, you can't really do it yourself unless you know what you're doing, because everything needs to be back in its place. You need to put special glue in a lot of cases where they're somewhat they're not waterproof, but they're watertight. It's got to be glued and put back together so it doesn't get moisture in it and that sort of thing.
Last time I changed the battery was on a 1 Plus, and that was easy to do.
Yeah, Robbins. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, it actually allowed you to do it. You didn't have the kind of thing that you're talking about.
Mhm.
But that's
Yeah.
a couple of years ago. I wouldn't do it with any of the phones I have now.
Yeah, Robin has a phone that the back snaps off,
Right.
just like a remote control, and then you just take the battery out, put a new one in,
Yep.
and just snap it back on. Yeah, but there
Bob.
aren't many phones that do that anymore.
Oh, Bob, you say once updated. So what's this? Windows 10 will only get one feature update per year now?
Windows 10, after you've updated to 21H2, which is now available, from then on, it will only have one update per year. So it'll be the next one will be 22H2, the second half. There won't be that first half update anymore.
So does that mean there's... Sorry, go ahead.
If you have Windows 10 on your computer, you should be getting a notification, if you haven't already got one, that the Windows 21H2 is available, and it's time to update it. I understand it's a very small and very short. It doesn't require a lot of time to do the upgrade, but and it doesn't do a lot. But they will continue now. Instead of doing it twice a year like they were doing, they're going to only do it once a year.
So playing the devil's advocate here, does that mean they only get one chance to screw up my computer in the year rather than twice?
Oh no, they do the interim ones all year long too.
Yeah, you still have your Patch Tuesday updates.
Yeah.
Right.
But you won't have the major update.
Right.
The feature update that they call it.
Let me throw a couple of notes up here. Bill H said, "Oh boy, when we were talking about Spotify, he says I can sing with Spotify. I could not carry a tune in a bucket before." And then hi Jolyn, she says, "Good afternoon all." So that catches us up. If there are any questions, by the way, just put them in the comments and we can post them and then talk about them.
The labor crunch, I don't know if you guys are finding it down where you guys are living, but we certainly are having, there's just nobody working. And so the robots are becoming, they're using them now in kitchens and they're using them as servers. There's a restaurant in Victoria that has 2 robotics. I don't know if George Bowden's been to them, but they have, they actually have robots come out, take your order, go back in the kitchen, they put the trays on and bring them out. So it's sort of interesting. So the whole robotic thing is getting interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if you read my article in the in last week's Tech for Senior News, but I talked about the fact that so many of the restaurants now, the fast food ones, are putting in kiosks. So you order your own food, and I had a picture that I don't think we included in the article, or did we, of a pizza being put together and another one of sushi being put together by robots. So yeah, they're finding ways to streamline it. And I understand on Thanksgiving, Walmart's going to be closed in the States on Thanksgiving Day, and they're going to give both cashiers the day off.
Oh,
because it's all self-service now. Both the 2 that they have.
I guess this is a good time to remind
that was a joke.
Oh, was I guess it's a good time.
I guess not a very funny one because nobody laughed and nobody got it. So. All right, back to the drawing board.
I just want to remind everybody that there will be no Tech for Senior Live next Thursday. I'll be around, but everyone else wants to have turkey dinner and eat turkey and have family fun and all that sort of stuff. So we're gonna take a holiday next Thursday.
You had your Thanksgiving already, Ron.
We did.
So maybe you should do a show just for those in Canada.
No, we're going to take the day off. I think I'll take the day off. This, I didn't see the picture. I will pass this one. Roku's most affordable streaming is, Bob, is this a good deal?
I don't know. I don't have I just posted, it just said that was under $20.
Right.
That's
what do you think, Bill?
And I think that's the one that Bill has. That's the one you showed this morning.
That's both units. That's more than just a remote. That's
Mhm.
also
And
the device.
And that's probably the battery, the a replaceable battery, not the
Right.
rechargeable.
Mhm. Okay. Oh, and
There's the smart broom.
there's the smart. There's the link, and
I can't wait for mine. I'm saving all the dirt I can just to test it.
so Hugh, you've done a number of these. What do you call them? They're
Crowdfunding,
yeah, crowdfunding. Have you ever had a
Indiegogo, and
yeah? Have you ever had a situation where you didn't get the product?
no. The one problem I had was with a cheer pod, which was a little mouse, and it worked really well for a while. And then I didn't need it, so I put it away. When I said, well, I'm going to try it with my Chromebook, and Chromebooks don't work real well with Bluetooth anyway. It didn't work well with it, so I put it away. And when I got my test machine for Windows 11, I tried using it and it wasn't working at all. So I tried it on everything and it wasn't working. I sent them a note and said that I was having problems with it. And they said, oh, we'll send you a replacement. And then I waited and I waited and I waited and I sent them a couple of notes. And finally they said, oh, we can't replace it. We're not set up to replace them.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And so I can't get another one.
The thing about this broom is, of course, there's no electronics, so it really should.
Yeah. It should be out in January when the electronics is the machine to make them.
That's right. That's right. So it's not gonna have any chips that you are a problem. How to save on? I just put this on there. How to save on Apple products for Black Friday. If you it was an interesting article, and Apple does have sales on, so if you're interested, that's important. How to use my new password man. Oh, okay. This is actually, I'm going to be talking about this on Monday. I'm going to be doing a talk on two-factor on Monday, but the new Mac OS Monterey, which is, I think it's 15, has two-factor authentication built into it. So if you in their password manager feature, so we'll talk a little bit about that. This is a new feature in the Mac OS, the Monterey. I think it's version 15. So that's just want to let everybody know about that. This is the toaster. This was the article on the phones, but I'm not really. No one's going to buy these phones, but at least not in U.S. market. But the toaster was the interesting part. So that was the follow up that I did on that part.
A couple of comments. We got a couple of comments here. Wait a minute.
Mhm.
Just got away from me because somebody added one. George says, can you do a poll on who is happy with their microwave user interface? And I don't think we have a way of doing polls.
No, we can't do polls. We're broadcasting on StreamYard, so we don't have. You can't really do polls on StreamYard. For instance, my one-touch button finishes with the mug handle in the back.
Well, it turns, so wherever the wheel is when it finishes turning, that's where it is. So in his case, the mug is in the back.
So when you put it in, face it the opposite way. Then it should come out fine when it's finished, provided your time is the same. I get that all the time when I heat up coffee. I know how many seconds I put it in for. I also know where the handle winds up, and you just put it in the opposite if that's the wrong way around, and then it'll face you when it's finished.
Bill H says Albany, Oregon's Costco has food court ordering kiosks and self-checkout stands now. I still enjoy watching the pizza turntable applying tomato sauce. It reminds me of my folks' Zenith phonograph.
Yeah, ours does the same. It has kiosks in the for the food court now. There's no more standing in line, and you just go and pick it up, which is cool. You know, they also have. Do you guys have self checkouts now? We have. I hate. I mean, I hate
them.
Yeah, I don't go over there. I mean, people are. They're so slow using those things. It's much faster to go to the till that has two people working on it at Costco, and they would through, right?
We have one supermarket here that had them, and there were so many complaints. They've actually done away with them.
Ah, really?
But that's not the way it's going in the rest of the stores, especially the larger ones like Walmart. They just keep adding more and getting rid of more people.
So I thought Gerald Marr says when update to Windows 11 will desktop taskbar and favorites mark information transfer over to Windows. Oh, so will the desktop and taskbar
Yes.
all be the same?
Yep.
Everything
Everything does.
transferred over with no problem.
There you go. Easy peasy.
Even the
And
passwords that it remembers are still there.
right. And the printer still works for me just the same as it did when it was on Windows 10.
Because remember, it's really basically just an update.
Yeah, it was Windows 10 with fancy stuff.
Right.
Rounded corners.
Yep.
And a different
All right.
start menu.
Colorful icons.
Right. If you're thinking of buying Bob's Pixel 6 Pro and you might be getting a deal list if you're waiting and waiting and waiting, not true. Google said there will be no special pricing on Pixel 6s on Black Friday. That's the official from Google.
I also saw that Google has decided not to come out with the unannounced flip phone or
Yes.
a foldable phone that they had.
Yep.
Right. I've talked about this before, and these are now available. These are the Amazon special Amazon TVs, and they're hitting the market now, 43 and 50 inches. And they're, of course, because they're Amazon, they're discounting them heavily. So you can get some absolutely phenomenal deals on these are the new Fire TVs that have been made. I think they're made by TCL. I think that's the idea, but they're actually on. I got an email this morning. They're from Amazon, and you can order them in Canada and certainly in the United States now, and they're well made.
If they're 1080p, most likely they'd be able to be used as a monitor as well.
Yeah, I think they're 4K. I think these are 4K. So that's there you go.
But they're only top 50 inch. That's a
No,
small
I think they're
TV.
65. I think they're 65. I saw 65 this morning. 65 runs around, I think it's $1,000. This is
What I just talked about, yeah.
what you just talked about. Bob, what is this about? This is Avast Q321 threat report, Avast Threat Labs.
This is the report and the outlook. It tells you what's happening through the third quarter.
Mhm.
And it gives you an outlook of what's to be expected based on what's happened in the past. And it isn't pretty.
So the bottom line is people should keep watching Tech for Senior on Monday, watch your great updates, and follow our directions, right?
Yep.
That's it. You got it.
Very good. Very good. I like that. That's cool. Yeah. Good idea. Tesla is the.
Oh yeah, this I've got this in my notes to mention in the next Starlink update.
Mhm.
What they're going to do is they're setting up charging stations for Teslas, and they're going to equip them with Starlink. So while you're charging, you can use the broadband from a Starlink while you're sitting there and waiting.
Amazing, eh? And
Makes sense.
Can you order your food as well? It looks like that's a drive-in sort of thing. Probably, eh? You probably could order food.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a massive gas station, only here it's electricity. That's
Electricity.
doing
But
it.
if you look over here, you can see maybe there's going to be a store in here. You can buy-
Yep.
Might be.
Yep.
You can order food and stuff.
Well, it's like going to a gas station. You can go in and get food. I've seen some stations that had restaurants, the whole works. Truck stops all have them.
Yeah, and of course Google Photos is changing. New Google Photos shortcut that allow you access to specific local folders, which I'm sure that will be helpful. If you haven't played you played it till. So if you haven't, it is truly amazing. If you, I have to get over and see my friend. He's got it all set up. I could set it all up, but I just haven't got around to it. But if you haven't played Micro Flight Simulator until you've played it with Oculus Quest 2, and that is on sale right now, Oculus Quest 2, a big sale on that now. But it is, this was Tom's guide that wrote this article, and I thought, I really have to get into this and get going. But at the end of the day, I just don't have any hours to do it, but it's pretty cool.
Why they have the sale on the Oculus Quest 2 is they're changing the name, so they got to get rid of all the ones that say Oculus on them.
Right.
Ron, you might look at the clock.
Oh my gosh, we got one. We have so much fun doing this. Bill, will you come back and see us again?
Oh, I'm always open. Yes.
Very good. Very good. I'll keep you updated on that toaster. Maybe we could share it. You could have it for 6 months, and then I could have it for 6 months.
That would work. I'm going to do some investigation and see if I can. It would go great with this supposedly phantom coffee pot I'm getting.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
I can hardly wait to tell you about that, but I'm still waiting for it, and it's one of those
crowdfunding.
So,
sure. All right. Well, it's top of the hour. We have talked for a whole hour. Amazing. I want to thank everyone for coming and listening. Huey, did we get through all the comments?
Yes. Wait a minute. One last one. Fast food and gas.
They never change, right?
Yeah, that's true.
There you go. Thanks everyone for coming and listening. Thanks everyone for being there. This, of course, is recorded, and you can play it again if you want to listen to it on either YouTube or Facebook. We're going to take next Thursday off, so there will be no Tech for Senior live next Thursday, but there will be a show this Monday for sure. We've got lots of interesting things to talk about. It'll be a great show. And I'm going to do a promo on the Sunday, Bob. It's coming out. I'm going to do it riding my bicycle.
Ooh.
So I'm going to do it riding my e-bike. So I thought this is going to be fun. And so we're going to, that'll be the promo on the Monday. So it should be lots of fun on Monday. Lots of interesting things happening. Jolin says, thanks. Nice show. Have Thanksgiving, even if you're not celebrating it. Indeed. So hopefully everyone will have a great week. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time, same place. And we will, of course, see you on Monday. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Happy Turkey Day, everybody.
Bye. Yeah.